Well, happy Wednesday. It's officially hump day. Ring the bell. All right. Welcome to ATI Pro Media. We have some positive news coming across the tape here in grain markets. But with that, every morning we're looking for those exports at 8 o'clock. We're giving you today's news today. ATI Pro Media sponsored and provided to you by Advanced Trading. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We continue to grow the channel. Right for the show, I was searching some things on traditional media versus what type of media we are. And it's always interesting to talk to real media people and have them talk about the future. Before the show started, myself, Connor, Joe, Rick, we're talking about that live stream with Elon Musk and President Donald Trump. I would say that media has changed tremendously. The fact that you all get up and watch this every day is an example of that. And the power of live streaming's, I'm really bullish live streaming and just getting out there. The fact we get to go live every day at 9 o'clock is an absolute privilege. If you don't believe so, look what's going on in the UK. They literally sent out social media police and are arresting people for hurting feelings. So, hey, I don't want to hurt your feelings. Let's take it to LaSalle Street, where it's always a great street. December corn down a half. Sep beans up 8.25. No beans up 8.5. It's about time. Meal up, oil up. If you're advanced trading client, there's a really good chance you've rolled down your bean puts here the last 48 hours. Anyone who works with advanced trading brokers, give them a call. I'm sure you've been updated to the current situation. Board of Trade wheat up a half. KC down 3.5. Hard red spring unchanged. A little volatility in cattle. Cattle down 20 ticks. Feeder cattle up 25. Hogs up 22. Taking it over to Wall Street we go. Gold down 10. Silver down a little. 2s, 5s, 10s, 30s, all up. That means interest rates are slowly coming down. A little volatility in crude oil down 24. Natural gas with a bid. I don't know why I didn't buy that natural gas when it got under 2,000. Did you buy it? I don't know. Do you have a fuel need? Do you need to get fall gas locked in? Sounds like big bushels out there. Are they going to be wet? You should give your local provider. You should really be calling and checking on propane prices with that. All right. Dow Jones up 33, NASDAQ down 68, S&P's down 6. We got a little action in the Bitcoin and Dr. Copper doing Dr. Copper things, and we'll go from there. So, looking at Bitcoin down 1,600, exactly trading 60,000. Let's bring them in. Connor B, welcome to the show. Not the most action-packed show in the sense that we can't, there's days we have 20 headlines and we can only get to like 6 or 8 of them. We're stretching today, brother. We're stretching. What do you know?
Right. Not much, Tommy. I think the main focus is going to be that CPI number, inflation gauge. And on the back of that is what are they doing with interest rates, right? We saw some mortgage demand. That was really the story. Couple things looking at in grain markets, right? But we kind of know that story. We're still reeling from the USDA report Monday. But so there it is. Consumer price index, right? Government's favorite gauge of inflation falls below 3% for the first time since 2021, right? We'll take it. It's coming on the backs of a hopeful, right? We'll see how many rate cuts, what type of rate cut we're going to get in September. But I still feel pretty positive we're going to get one. Don't you think, Tom? It's just a matter of we getting one or two.
Oh, boy. Yeah. And we're going to get one and the verbiage. I mean, Jay Powell almost jumped out through the screen and said, okay, let's just do it. I don't know what he was thinking. I promise you in 6 weeks, we're going to cut rates. And then they started asking him hard questions, a quarter or half. And he said, and he started doing the uhs. And these are one of the most powerful men in the world. I wouldn't want to be him. I'm not saying it's easy to be him when you're setting monetary policy, but it does affect a lot of people's lives. Interest rates, for those who don't who weren't brought up in the industry, let's go over to 4 things that trade in my mind, right? You have currencies, which is kind of the wild, wild west. You have bonds, which are interest rates. You have stocks and you have commodities. I'm going to add a 5th that's kind of new, and Ryan Fogel likes to talk about it. Crypto and Bitcoin, that's definitely new. So I used to say there's 4 main things people trade. There's probably 5 now, 5.5. Of course, you have options listed on all those, and you can get yourself in all types of positions and everything else. Hey, did you see that article that, who was it? Who's that stock company that lets people trade for free?
Robinhood.
Robinhood. thinking about doing free futures and options. Whew. You any good at
Wait,
buying a car, Connor B?
say that again.
Robinhood's thinking about doing free futures and options. I think that's
Yeah.
what they do for a living.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes, right?
Mhm.
Free to get. So walk me through it, because I did read the headline, but I can't remember. So it's free to get in, but then what are they going to do? Steeper margin calls if it goes against you, or or I guess, do you have to pre-fund the account, right? I don't know. That's
My guess would be they're going to make you keep a ton of money in your account, keep a tight leash on you. They're going to make a ton of money on the money left in the account because we do have an interest rate. And then, Lord, if something moves overnight, they're going to blow you out of the position. So when you have accounts like that, if anything goes wrong and you cross that threshold, it's an automatic forced liquidation on all positions. And that is one of the things that we still have so much ability to hold someone's hands and say, okay, this is what you have on. You're going to send money in today. I mean, it's not a very gentlemanly like relationship business. It's just pure affordable, right? And with that, that comes a price. And
Yeah.
we've seen other people offer stuff like this. It doesn't. I remember when FBN, I did lose a few clients to FBN who said, "Hey, I'm going to go to FBN and just trade for free. No problem. Take my number out of your cell phone because I don't need to talk to you anymore." And then they would call back and ask what I thought, and I said, "I think you're not a client, so I wish you and the wife and the kids the best day." Right?
Yeah.
And so
It's a
I'm friends
hard.
with a lot of brokers in the industry. It's a relationship, Connor.
Yeah, absolutely. And just going from, Robinhood and equities, and then crossing that bridge, right? For your average, retail investor, you can picture them, right? We can think, 25 years ago, Tommy, I'm sure you could rattle off the top of your head what the NASDAQ, what the Dow, what the S&P 500 was. 25 years ago, we saw $10 beans, right? When we see those spikes. And so it's a completely different game, right? If we're in farming, if we're in the business that we're in, if we're in the business that you've been in your whole life, we're aware of how it works. But for the average retail, average investor, it's a completely different game. So it's a dangerous slope if you have your Robinhood app and you start dabbling in commodities, I think.
Right. There's also the member versus non-member. So I'm a member of the exchange and pay member rates. There's a whole nother level that they won't be able to discount. So it won't be free in the sense there'll still be a lot of exchange fees, and it won't be free in the hidden costs. One of the secrets of Robinhood that the average investor doesn't know is that people pay billions for their order flow. And so there's so many retail investors saying, buy this stock market, sell this market. And someone collects that edge, the other side of all that markage, AKA the slippage. And in futures and options, you're not going to, we have a bid and an ask. So if we look at like a corn ladder right now, you're not going to be able to buy the, you're not going to be able to buy the order flow. Are you with me? So if
Yeah.
you look at a corn, I'll pull it up actually here. I want to show you something. If I pull up a corn and we look at the bid and ask, you can't buy your right to trade. If you're the offer and someone buys it from you, they don't have a line at the CME group where you say only let me in there. I want to show you all something. I want to show you how slow and tight and liquid the December corn market is real
Yeah.
quick while we're talking about this. Hey,
Yep,
remember
pull it
when
up.
we had nothing to talk about? Well, we made stuff up. All right, this is D's corn, and right now it's 397 bid and it's 397 and a quarter offered. And if I want to bid for 10, I go like that. And if I want to, oh, I bought a little. Look at that. Want to see me scalp a two lot? Here we go. Live national TV. Ring the bell, quarter cent on two. You know who's got two fingers and just made two on two? This guy, baby. We'll be here all day. But that's what you can do when you own a seat at the Board of Trade. So essentially, what I'm telling you is it's almost always been free to trade. You just had to have that freeze up a little bit of a misguided word. It's been affordable to trade for those who are in the club. So are you in the club? You want to get in the club? You can still become a member of the exchange and pay low rates. It's this America, baby.
Fun stuff.
This America. All right, let's go over any other headlines and
Yep.
we will.
Other one I had, just still along interest rates, and I got a couple questions for you, Tommy. So we had that one, we popped that one up. Mortgage refinancing surges 35% in 1 week. I got a feeling that we'll see this headline. If we see the rate cuts and the follow through the rest of the year, we're probably going to see this headline consistently, right? If you bought a house the past couple of years, right, you're going to be looking at refinancing and get it below, right? If your interest rate 7%, you're checking with your local bank to see if it can go down. But
Oh,
here's
absolutely.
I got a question for you,
Yes,
Tommy.
sir.
Is let's paint that picture for in the ag community, right? Let's say we get a couple rate cuts, interest rates come down, however you want to say, if it's a gradual slide, let's say if we have a recession and it's a little bit more dramatic, right? I could paint the picture if we have these big crops, carries widen, and the cost of money does come down, right? Sticking in the bin, right? Hedging it, sticking in the bin and capturing that carry could make a lot of sense, right? Last year, we were saying the exact opposite, right? The cost of money and the carries were not wide enough. We needed to move grain now, convert that to cash and manage it. What are your thoughts?
I'm writing some numbers down. Great points. Okay. All last year, all we said at the peak of it was you're either making 5 or spending 10. That number is more like you're either making 5% at the bank or spending 9% in interest. We're going to more of a 4 and 8. We're going that anyone in the world will be giving you 4% money here in a few months on money or assets you have, and operating is going to go down to 8. If we hit a recession or something bad happened, we'd go to a 3 and 7 number, where the Fed would do like an emergency full percent cut, and that would be bad for American economy. Even though you want lower interest rates, it would mean something bad happen. I don't even want to say the words because I just don't like saying it, because they're words that get flagged for when you say bad things, right? But I'm old enough to remember some bad days in September. Around the 12th would be the day after, right? And when things like that happen, the Fed would lower rates, and we go to a 3 and 7. And so what you need to do with your broker, yourself, your spreadsheets, is actually look at the math and digest the numbers. And we're going to talk a lot on advanced trading, this live stream or the premium, about, okay, you want to store grain, but do we store it much past March? So we have OND, October, November, December, and then we have JFM. These are all terms you hear thrown around the corporate office all day. And then what's after JFM, right? Then now we're getting into, yeah, what are the initials?
AMJJ.
There you go. And so which block of time frames? We know we work with some really large clients who can't deliver it all at harvest. We know the worst, not the worst, the most bushels we're going to have in the history of the 2024 marketing season are going to be in the next 6 to 8 weeks in beans, and the next 8 to 12, 16 weeks in corn. We will have so much old crop, so much new crop, and we're going to have to hold people's hands and work through the mathematics of what can we do, what should we do. And that's where I learned so much from you and other coworkers of, that hand holding. That's actually the value of why people pay us. Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. As we show, right, we know how we handle the futures price risk, right? We know how we're going to do that. We know how we're going to defend having our long position, keeping the upside open. But then step 2 is going to be that merchandising aspect, right? If we have the bin storage, doesn't make sense to stick the grain in the bin every year. It doesn't make sense. There's a lot of years where having the bin and not using it is the right decision. And then from there, sticking in the bin, right? What month? What does it make sense for us logistically? How does it make sense for us financially? How long do we want to store that corn? And managing that, right? That's going to be a majority of conversations the next, in about a month or so, and then the next 3 months, right? How are we managing? Do we need cash flow? Do we not need cash flow? Or does paying down debt, converting that grain to cash make sense? All those questions we're talking about every day, Tommy.
Absolutely.
And really, it's what makes the job fun too, right? Is
Right.
having a different conversation every time you pick up the phone.
I guess my point is to challenge it is free doesn't scare me at all, because the American farmers had access to free for a long time, and free got them to where we are today. Free got them to $8 cash beans. And a lot of people paid for bullish advice. So now that we do have 225 people watching, are you out there and did you pay for really bullish advice? You don't have to say openly on this group who you paid too much for to give you bad advice. But I'm just so interested because the amount of accounts we're opening and the amount of people asking to open an account. And the one question they don't ask is, what do you charge? They just say, I need to work with someone. Can you help me? Whereas if you buy a newsletter, if you buy ATI Pro Media subscription, there's a fee. There's $30 per month services, 50, 100. I subscribe to several things personally that I like. People who my own coworkers don't like, but I like these people and I like to hear other opinions. If you just listen to all the opinions of one little group, a small group like advanced trading, you could get advanced tradingitis, right? Where we all think the same and so we agree to agree. And that's why you have debates. That's why you have open conversations. Someone says, I think corn's going up. And then someone says, I think corn's going down. But what we do is identify the risk of every bushel and say, you could think whatever you want. You know, your mom probably still tells you you're good looking. She thinks you're the cutest little kid ever, Connor, right? But that's not true. And we know it, right? And so you can only lie to yourself long enough. And at that point, it's your mom's left the only one lying to you. I would say the great lie of the markets have to go up. The USDA took that away from people on Monday, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're seeing that. We got beans rallying, but my gosh, we don't make up for Monday and Tuesday. We've got a ways to go.
And real quick call to action, folks. We want you out there. We asked something yesterday and you dropped comments below and you dropped comments on the live show. I like the comments after. You drop them whenever you want. We'll let you have them. You can call us, you can email us. But yesterday we asked, what are cash beans in your price? That's a call to action. Look around 25 miles from where you farm. What are cash beans and why? Look at the fall price. Look at the winter price. Maybe you have one of these new fancy crushing plants that's going to save you and make everything okay. But with that, we also offered out rain gauges because I found a whole case of these, 2 cases of these in my basement. Hello, ATI. I can't try to get centered. Left is left, right's right. ATI rain gauges. We'll send you 2 rain gauges. Just email us info at ATI Pro Media. We had 4 people request rain gauges. And if you need a rain, I am hearing of people up north who do need a rain. If you need a rain, well, you know what? Put a rain gauge out there or go get your car washed. That one always works. All right. Tight news day. We're getting a couple of headlines out there.
I got something for you, Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not necessarily related, but if you're in this weekend, if you're in Central Illinois and Assumption, come on down. We're doing a St. Mary's Catholic Church puts on a festival, and then every year my dad plants a corn maze, right? And so last year it spelled out Assumption. This year it looks like St. Mary, right? It's the St. Mary's Catholic Church that puts it on.
That looks like JC in the house, corn style.
Isn't that cool, though? We walked through it a couple weeks ago. So
I'd like to drive down there.
Yeah. Last year, I got to tell you, it was like 9,500 degrees. It was sweltering. They were worried they were going to lose people in the maze. I think this weekend it's going to be a little bit nicer, but we'll see.
Yeah, and you got your guy in the field so that he could, you got a good chance you can ask for a prayer for a little nicer weather. We got Ashley dropping a comment. Thanks, Ashley. Logistics and convenience have to be added to the equation, but that value is linear. Interest is exponential.
Wow, a lot of big words.
Big words, Ashley. That's an alphabet soup challenge. Don't do that to us ever again. All good points, and we will note. Brady Huck, don't get lost in the maze, Connor.
You know what's funny is they took my nephew and then my 3 kids. They took him through, and then they get back and they're like, well, we lost the youngest one for just a little bit, so he's already been lost. But guess what? We found him. All's good.
Yeah. Do you guys have? Do you have a drone in case someone? Excuse me.
Get it out, Tom. Here,
Oofta. All right.
Yeah. But no, I don't. As far as I know, there's no drones, right?
You might want a drone because we'll be looking for a kid. And
Luke, here we go. Luke, this is a hot topic right now. Have we put too much faith in renewable diesel and SAF Treasury rule making sure isn't helping out? Yeah. When we started this show, right, that was kind of the big right. We're building crush plants. We're going to see that sustainable aviation fuel, renewable diesel, right? It was kind of like a cheer. Right? I was a cheerleader of it. And now it really feels like the tables have turned, right? Even we just saw something, don't quote me on this, but California kind of wanted to limit how much soybeans, right? They that go in renewable diesel. They want to see more UCO, right? Use cooking oil in it. And so it's, whichever direction we go, whoever's in office come November, right, we're going to need some government help to get it off the ground. That's just a fact. And so it's going to be interesting to see, Luke. That's going to be a topic where I got a feeling we're going to talk a lot about it in the next year.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. All right, folks. Farmer Brett, get this one, please.
Check out Red's Corn Maze, Oakley, Kansas. It's my uncle's main. Okay, I'm writing that down.
Yeah,
Red's
yeah.
Corn Maze. We'll see.
Yeah. And
Brady, make sure you check that one out.
Can we talk? It's a slow news day. Can we talk how your dad did that? Like how do you train the planter? Not train. Hey, planter, plant the seed. So explain how you do that, because these things are fascinating.
So I'm going to do my best to explain it. Is he works with the local dealership, and you can really have programs, right? They kind of had pre-made, or they can make them in the system. Last year it was cursive. I'll try and pop that up next time. It was cursive, and it spelled out assumption. And so they download the software, put it in the guidance, and then you just plant like it's normally, and it shuts off, turns on, right, the different rows, and it plants it automatically. So it's not like you're going out there with the little 4-row and trying to trace out and map it all. You plant it normally, and the planner / the computers do the work. It's amazing, Tommy.
Yeah, it's precision planting on steroids. That's awesome. Grab this one.
What's the maximum amount of rain your gauge holds? The way it's been raining lately, I believe it's start time to making them bigger. It's time to start making them bigger, if I can get that out. I can't remember do you remember where Nathan's at? Is he Iowa?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, but who's our friend who comments from Ohio too? Different. That's Ohio Buckeye. Yeah. Nathan, 6 inches. Yeah.
Guess they don't have the footage up on face. Farmer Brett, send it to us when you get it. I love seeing the different corn mazes. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. No, I think Gina and I will come check it out. All right, good stuff. Questions, comments, drop them on the video. Let's give a little market update before we go. Corn, beans, wheat, everything's starting to do better. Cattle, quiet day there. Outside markets, we had CPI. Today's news today, but a little quieter. Yesterday, we had something really interesting happen with like a CEO switch on the Starbucks. Took Chipotle CEO. I thought that was interesting. I can tell when I wake up in the morning, and then once that number came out at 7:30 and nothing happened, I'm like, that's it. It's a slow news day. Everything else will be made up from here. Not that you're making up stuff. I did Google something. I just want to talk about this because we have time to talk a little bit. Slow show. We only went 23 minutes, right? But non-traditional media is a type of advertising that's innovative, unconventional, or alternative to traditional media like print, radio, and television. And it's interesting when you start looking at what we're doing with what other people are doing. And I can tell you just through my feeling and actual experience of, hey, I hosted a live show on national TV, or I did this, or I did that, that there's some really great stuff out there, but it's going away. And you take like a CNN that was once a powerhouse. I mean, I remember 20 years ago watching CNN for 2 days straight during elections, and it's not something that comes across my screen. Matter of fact, I'm still this close to canceling DirecTV. I might make the call and cut the cord here today. And with all the Tom Grasafis and everyone else, if someone was out there and said, hey, send me your favorite 3 ag videos that you watch every day, or your 3 tech videos, or in your case, you love sports, you love, so if I said, Connor, tell me your 3 favorite YouTubes or Spotify's you listen to during football season, they would be, and you're just going to rattle them off, right?
Sure.
What are they?
Sure. I mean, you still got to watch a little Sports Center, right? They still have it. But I mean, Pardon My Take does it. It's just a couple of regular guys that break down the football or whatever sport's going on. So I'm a big listener of them. And then I don't know the third, right? If I get Sports Center and those guys in, I'm going to call it a good day or a good week, right? My TV's still pretty much dominated by Disney Channel and Bluey, but yeah, you're exactly right, right? There's if I'm going for sports news, there's a good chance, right? I'm going to Bleacher Report or something like that, not going for the traditional sports networks.
And so what we're doing, advanced trading, ATI Pro Media, other people, this is non-traditional media. The fact that we just went for 25 minutes and the only people we had a commercial for is ourselves is absolutely amazing. Let's take a minute for station identification and push some ATI Pro Media Premium on you. Welcome to ATI Pro Media, powered by Advanced Trading. We're a financial channel that loves agriculture. For just $1 a day, you'll receive advanced trading research, actionable text, and a minimum of 6 videos a week featuring industry experts and insight. Click the button below to subscribe today. Good stuff. Yeah, we talked yesterday. Don Wick and I talked yesterday on Premium Good Stuff. I I didn't have time to put Don's picture on there, so I just used an old thumbnail. But Don and I talked about traditional media, other media, VP. He's interviewed Walls a bunch of times, so that was interesting. Monster, Minnesota, North Dakota wheat crop, etc. And then today's premium, I'll give you a little heads up, and then we'll get into the comments. Today's premium, I'm going to go out to Michigan and go visit our coworker, Tom Barry. I'm going to take my mixer and some mics, and we might go long form. We might do 2 parts, how the year started, how the year's going. But Tom spent, 20 some years in the wheat options, and he was a wheat options broker dealing with 1,000 lots. Now he typically does a 20 lot or a 40 lot, but it's the same job, right? Whether it was Cargill saying buy 2,000 of these at this price, or whether it's a farmer saying buy 2 of these at this price, it's wonderful to watch him transition from a traditional floor broker, which that job was taken away. They sent him home for a few weeks and never asked him to come back. And that's how he ended up at Advanced Trading. But he's doing a great job representing the firm, the farmer, everyone else, and getting risk managed. And he's definitely becoming an up and star. So a little shy in front of the camera, but we'll give him a little time to do some hair and makeup and everything else. And that last premium we did with Tom Barry, I thought was excellent.
I thought it was great. I'm looking forward to this one. Go long form, tell a few stories, give some guys some insight. Sounds like a great one.
We're just going to put on the headset like this. I'm not even going to set up fancy camera. Just use my camera and my laptop and just kick it. So we have some great assets at Advanced Trading. Again, folks, we love that you listen. We're flattered. We're honored. Free rain gauge. Just email us.
How much does it hold, Tommy? How much does it hold?
6 inches. 6 inches. No. Which, if you get a quick downpour. Hey, speaking of quick downpours, doggone it. Bismarck, North Dakota was pounded last night.
Was it really?
Folks, if you're out there and you're bored, hey, Ashley's out there. Ashley, if you're still watching, were those AI generated images, or did Bismarck Hospital really take water? I think that was a fake news thing. But Bismarck flooded last night on a big downpour. So be checking in with North Dakota Farmers Day to see how much rain they got. We'll give Ashley a second to comment. Here we go. I found, this is interesting. Grab this one, Connor B.
Found out about ATI from my neighbor at the same time you started the show. However, I didn't realize that you just had started until a month later. Love you guys. Thank you. Nathan, thank you very much.
I love you too. Yeah, it means the world. We're working hard, and
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, podcasts just like this are the future. Listen to Tucker Carlson and Dave Smith yesterday. It was educational, entertaining. Right? Tucker Carlson, right? He's kind of the flagship of going from traditional media. And then, Tommy, you show all the time about, look at his equipment that Tucker's using, right? It's not this, 6-figure equipment. He's got some nice cameras. He got some nice speakers, some nice microphones, and he gets some great people and does great interviews. It's simple.
Everything Tucker Carlson has and uses to do, I have 3 times that amount right here. And a nice microphone's $500. A nice piece of equipment to run the microphones, $500 to $2,000. You can even go smaller than that. Then you have to have a couple wires. Those are $12. They probably had a really expensive camera. So I noticed a setup of Tucker Carlson on a bench with Don Trump Jr. And they each had a mic. I don't think they were wearing headsets. We only wear headsets to hear your own audio. But if you're sitting that close to each other, I'm sure they had an audio engineer turning the buttons on the other side.
Sure.
Anyway, 2 mics, 2 people, 1 awesome camera, and there was probably someone just behind it. And it was such a simple, clean setup. And you don't have to spend a lot to get in the podcast world or do this or anything else. It helps to have the toys. It's nice, but overall, people want to listen to the content. It's important to have good sounding stuff. I know when we first started ATI Pro Media, a lot of our coworkers are really worried about where they're sitting or what they look like or what's going on. But people just want to learn. So if we work with someone who's so brilliant, let's get them on the show. And do one thing though, I did talk to Drew Moore yesterday about a lot of different things, but I was amazed at how many people we have who are so smart, who are shy to go in front of a camera or a microphone or anything else. That we have some real giants at our company who are, as Mr. Rick says, be careful for people who buy ink by the barrel. We have people who'd much rather send a 2-page email explaining what they're trying to say than saying it. Whereas I would just rather take this microphone, say it, and then send you the smart guy stuff who wrote it and say, here, I read that for you. That's ridiculous. You don't have to read the whole 2 pages. Just here's the two lines that matter. And so when you go flying through life, whether it be agriculture, business, or anything else, I'm always looking for those two lines and let me get on with my day. And I feel that ATI Pro Media, we get up early, all of us, myself, you, Joe, Brady, everyone who's involved in it, and start digesting the headlines. And that's why we never know the length of the show, the tone of the show, or what's going to happen. So
yeah, well said, because we said we had no news and we're about to cross 30 minutes. So
that's
there
right.
you go.
Hey, big shout out to our boy Grain Stats. If you're out there in the Twitter's world, Grain Stats is putting out phenomenal stuff. He said we can use some of the charts and stuff sometimes, but you need to pay him. You know, he's a $5 a month subscription. Go out there and subscribe to Grain Stats. You won't be disappointed. Tell him ATI Pro Media, Tommy G sent you. I subscribed, Connor subscribed. Obviously, you know, if you want to see his content, he's working hard. $5 a month. Holy cow, that's only a half a pack of
And
smokes per month.
It's
And
stuff. He takes complicated topics, puts it in great graphs.
Yeah, let's get out of here, buddy. Everyone have a great day. We do understand that you are now opening up accounts, need accounts, asking for help, subscribing to premium. We got rain gauges. If we really love you, we'll send a flag, but that's an extra special really love. Gina G is going to get us out of here. We'll see y'all next time.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us. We're here every day, 9 a.m. Central. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.